this might be a little too real, but how do I tell my mother that even though I'm 20 years old, I've been working since I was 14, and I know I had to work. I've always had to work for the things that I want. I never got anything handed to me, but I'm 20 years old. I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to do that shit. I'm putting deodorant on because I'm sweating because I just walked up the stairs because I don't be doing any type of physical exercise. So, like, I just been laying in my house for like a week. I got fired from my job because I don't want to go. I don't want to show up. I'm yelling in silence because I can't yell. Because if I yell in my house, I get my ass break. So that's why I can't tell my mama that I don't want to work. Because you got to. You got to get up and go to work, girl. You're 20 years old. You got to go to work. You got to go to school. You got to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And everybody I tell, they're like, just go apply for more. Shut up. I don't want to work anymore.
Listen, it's hitting them. Fellas, hold the line. It's hitting them. It's hitting them. Listen, we used to live in a time where ladies didn't have to work. Y'all didn't have to work. Y'all weren't in charge of debt. You could run up all the debt in your husband's name and then he had to pay it off. Those were the good times. Now y'all are figuring out that this feminism thing was not a good idea. You have to do everything on your own right now. Everything. The majority of women don't even want to go to work. Even if they have a job that they like, they only want to do that job for so long or do it as like a part-time job. They don't want to have to work. But this is what y'all created. Before we get into it, yeah, do me a favor, y'all. If you're listening to my voice right now, just hit that like button, hit the hype button. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't understand why people don't do it, but I appreciate it.
I have a question for them old heads. Who the f told y'all to go fight for our rights to work?
Mm-hmm.
Then y'all want to tell us how men supposed to provide? Shut the f up. Y'all done went got up on that fucking stand and fought for us. I hate working. Nobody told y'all to do that. Y'all did too much to prove that y'all that girl. It didn't give that. Like, it doesn't give that. You see what we doing? It never gave that. It never gave that.
See, and I don't think that a lot of women understood that what you're doing, you're going to impact the younger generation, and they might not want what you want. First of all, majority of women didn't want this feminism thing. They don't tell you that in the history books. If you look into history, the movement or the women that were called the suffragettes. I think it's called the suffragettes. I can't always mess up that word. The suffragettes, those were the women burning bras saying we want equal rights. But majority of women, they were called the anti-suffragettes. And they didn't want that because they understood, hey, this means we have to do more. If we get more responsibility or if we get more privileges that the men have, that means that we have to do what the men do. And we don't want to do that. Y'all need to do your history. Learn your history. Majority of women, even to this day, majority of women are against the feminism thing, but they try to make it seem like, yeah, we're with it. But if you get them by themselves and away from women and you ask them what they really want, they don't want to work and do all this nonsense. They want to stay at home.
The realization that I just don't want to work anymore. Like, it doesn't matter the job, the career path, the location. I just don't want to work anymore.
Whoever fought for women to get jobs. Why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up.
I know this is satire, but it's just funny though, because a lot of women feel this way on the inside and on the outside.
Like, I am, oh my God.
Yes, ma'am. You can thank women's rights activist groups that started up in the 1900s. They were straight up played by feminists. But at the same time, they've been benefiting from it. But us men are going to sit back and watch this. But it does feel good to see the chickens come home to roost.
Can you support my lifestyle, your lifestyle, a family's lifestyle, and give me a better lifestyle than what I can support on my own?
But the thing is,
and do it on your own salary.
It's a piece of paper. It's bragging rights. It's bragging rights at the end of the day.
How many women has degrees and don't want to work?
Right.
That's the first thing.
Listen, majority of women, whether they have a degree or not, they don't want to work. There are men that don't want to work, but we realize, okay, in order to have a successful life, and we have to take the good with the bad. If we want the Lamborghini, then we have to work for the Lamborghini. We want the Benz, we have to work for the Benz. We want the girl, we have to earn money to have a nice car or a nice place or nice clothes in order to get the girl. So we take the good with the bad. Women just want all good. And they were in a privileged position where they had all good. I wouldn't say all, but I would say like 90% good. The only thing you had to do was what? Cook and clean? That's all you had to do was cook and clean? And y'all complained about that? Because you want to wear a suit and tie and go to work like the big boys? Y'all, this is why men don't take women seriously. Like, I'm going to just keep on saying it.
I feel like now that women have proven that we can work and be just as successful as
But you
men,
haven't. No, you have not. Sorry, guys, keep pausing. Y'all have not proven that you could be just as successful as men. The majority of women have not. A handful of women have. But that's only on the business side of it. What about in life in general? See, y'all have to take into account that yes, you have work, but you also have life. So some women say, well, I have a good job and a good degree, so I'm set. But then they forget about you still have to go through life by yourself. And a job can only give you money, and money is just a tool. At the end of the day, what else do you have besides money? And then if you're paying for everything, that money's going. Even Cardi B, multi-millionaires complaining about how her money's going so fast. She's blowing through money because she needs help and she has to pay everybody because she foolishly divorced her husband and became a baby mama to a boyfriend. Y'all need help.
back to where women don't have to work, because I don't want to.
I don't want to work anymore because I'm working every day very hard and I never had money. So everything is expensive. So
that's not even a
I
phone.
I don't know a la chingada porque I never have money in my wallet, a la verga. So
Is that like a wallet and a cell phone case? I don't know what that was.
You know it's this. Take a perk and it's talking and see. Money swallow like this. They done perfecting a kid.
Only love can hurt like this.
Jesus, what's going on? I can never understand what's...
Mm-hmm.
We live in a world where society has managed to brainwash women into thinking that they can now become men. Since they can have a higher income, provide for themselves, pay their own bills, buy their own flowers, they've become delusional enough to think that they can become men.
Facts.
Or that they are men.
Facts. This lady spitting.
To the point that they show no respect to men whatsoever. They're out there being promiscuous. Anything for the mullah. They are so busy
She look like a Barbie
trying
doll.
to match a man's masculinity that they are unable to stay in their femininity. Make it make sense.
That's right, my Haitian sister. These fake woke women rights groups were some of the biggest scammers of all time. They pulled the ultimate con on these women. They literally convinced a generation of women that getting a good husband, raising a family is pretty much like freaking slavery or something.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? Because women think in a hive mind and the majority of women do not think independently, they think as a collective. It probably wasn't even that hard to convince. I mean, look, if the feminist movement started in the 60s and now we're in like the 2020s, it only took 20 years to convince women to get rid of their husband, start killing their children, and make their lives more difficult than what it has to be. Get all this debt from this piece of paper that doesn't mean anything but has the word bachelor's or master's on it. It only took 60 years. So can you imagine if the women just had a rebrand and said, you know what, if the majority of women weren't scared to stand up, they said, listen, we're not doing this anymore. The feminism was a lie. We're going back to our men and we're going back to having our own babies and doing it the right way, because the right way, we built nations with the right way. This BS that we're doing right now, it doesn't make any sense. It's illogical.
All this was done under the cloak of empowering women.
And just to let you know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need y'all. You know you can't afford to go out, right? You know you can't afford to buy any designer clothes. You know you cannot afford to go to anything but great clubs. You know you cannot afford to go out to eat at all, right? To be very clear, not a single time.
She's still gonna do it.
Do you know you cannot afford that though?
I get my lot. I feel like it saves me so much time though, so I can work on my business.
There it is.
How many hours a day are you working?
It depends. And now I'm doing more things now.
Give me average.
An average?
How many days?
3 hours.
Hours a day.
3 to 4 hours.
5.
That was close.
Then you don't have time. That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I'm digging into you, but that's dumb. That's dumb, and you need to know that's dumb. That's why I'm being rough. 5 hours a day? Oh, poor me, I'm working 5 hours a day and I can't cook. What do you mean it saves you time?
To all the people who are like, she doesn't want to work, she wants to marry rich and like have a fantastic life. Oh my god, she must be so lazy. She must like not be very bright. Like she's just not very capable, you know? Let me tell you, I went to Berkeley and I got my master's at USC. I'm extremely, extremely overeducated. And you know what I did with that overly educated brain of mine? I figured out the smartest thing I could do. The most efficient usage of my time, my energy, my resources for the most optimal path. Use that big juicy brain of mine, this brain that has been used in an advertising career, a career in tech, international business consulting. I've done it all. I've worked with Heineken, I've worked for Samsung, I've worked for Unilever, I've done things for H&M, and you know, I finally used this big, extremely competent brain, and I really figured it out. And the smartest thing that a woman can do is marry rich, so she doesn't have to work. Sis, we simply just don't make as much, and we simply don't have the testosterone, so we burn out way, way faster, and everything takes a much more intense toll on us. So ladies, honestly, while you still have your youth, your looks, your energy, the best ROI for you is to marry a provider. Is to date high-value men. Let them go to work for you. Your job is to enjoy your life. You have so many creative passions. You have so many hobbies. You have so many things you want to be doing. So many things you need to buy. You don't have time for a job. At least not a 9-to-5 job. Slaving behind a desk. Not for us, sis.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. What she was saying is some of what she was saying is facts, but I'm gonna tell you why she's a fool. She had to go to Berkeley. Matter of fact, let me see how much Berkeley is. For in-state tuition, Berkeley is almost $15,000. For out-of-state tuition, it's $45,000. I'm just going to assume, because she said I went to Berkeley, that she's out of state, because Berkeley is in California. So you went to Berkeley for 4 years. Matter of fact, let's just say she's in state. So $15,000 a year times 4, that's $60,000. You spent $60,000 and went $60,000 in debt to figure out that it's best for a woman to marry a rich man or marry a man that's more well off so that he can pay. You had to go spend $60,000 in debt and then go out and work in the workforce in order to realize something that should be common sense. And then you wonder why men don't trust women to lead. It wouldn't take a man to go. This probably took, so 4 years of college. I'm just going to assume she doesn't have her master's degree. And then, so she worked for all those people. So let's just say that's 6 years of, so she went out and did 10 years to find out that she did 10 years of hard labor in order to, and $60,000 in debt to figure out that the best thing for her to do is to marry a man that has money. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Yes, lady, you sound stupid. You sound stupid. And then on top of that, this is what I'm saying. Y'all get these degrees and then you get these high-paying jobs, but then you don't want to do the jobs. So I'm like, what's the point of going to get all of these degrees if you don't want to do the job? Who's gonna pay for this debt? And then you want a man to come in. This is what kills me about so many women, these modern delusional women today. Y'all will go out here, screw your lives up, and then expect a man to come in and clean it up. And to y'all, that's a real man. Oh, I had all these kids. I need you to come in and take care of all these kids by all these men. Because a real man would do that. A real man would pay for my debt. A real man would allow all this BS that I have going on and not say anything about it. Like y'all are cooked. Y'all are cooked.
At what point in history technically was women not allowed to work? Maybe we can get a history teacher down in the comments below to let us know. But yeah, was there ever a actual law on
women have
that
always worked,
prevented women from working? Or maybe it was just the fact that a lot of employees would rather hire men. Was it a boys club? A lot of these modern women today, they don't even like to leave their house and go outside and go to work. They would actually prefer to stay home, nestled in their home, waiting on their husbands to come home. To a lot of these modern women would like to stay home and simply perform household duties. I believe modern women who have feminist beliefs, they don't believe in women's rights enough to the point where they got to get out there and work like a man. But unfortunately for a lot of these ladies, being a feminist is a lot like being a man. Feminist women got to get out there and work too. But that's all I got in this video. Hit that subscribe button on your way out.
That was a good video by Dating Right. I'm obviously going to leave the link to the video in the description. If you haven't done so, please hit that like button, hit that hype, and I'll continue to make these videos. Something's wrong with these ladies, man. At the end of the day, something is wrong with majority of these ladies. And it sucks because I know a lot of men want to get married, and a lot of women they're actually really good women, but they've just been brainwashed, and they just won't open their eyes and see the real thing. Take the red pill in the Matrix. Take it. Your life will be a lot better, I guarantee you. Once y'all lose this mindset that, oh, I can do what he can do. You can't. You cannot. History has shown you that. That's it, guys. I'll see you on another video. If you want another good one, click this one on your top left or your top right. Both of them are great videos, and I'll see you on another one.